play somewhere where he can kind of niche out his own identity. His name's already Bronny. You know what I mean? Everything that we talk about with him, it always kind of folds back to his dad, rightfully so. He plays for USC, and his dad plays down the street for the Lakers. It's just an insane situation, and the way he's handled it, I'm a fan of Bronny. I really am, but I hope it goes somewhere else. I really do.
So what was your overall take on that before we get to the Steven Jackson piece?
I think that Austin Rivers is uniquely situated to make that comment.
Yeah.
Because this is a guy that, again, he was a high-level high school guy. He goes to Duke. He's a lottery pick in the NBA, and not by any surprise. But he got off to a slow start in the NBA career and ended up playing for his dad. And that like shadowed his entire experience. I mean, there was a lot of haters out there, you know, that just felt, oh, he's only in the league because of his dad. and I always push back against that because I've known Austin since he was in 7th grade when he first was like the best 7th grader in the country. Yeah. You know, and I knew him then. And I've known him kind of all along. And it's like I've always respected his work ethic, and I've always respected the way he's approached it. And I've been on the side of the court when, he would get a call in a high school or an AAU game, and everybody, you just got that call against your dad. You ain't shit. Like, I heard that stuff. Like, and when you're that guy, and he was that guy, like, nobody else in the gym, nobody else at fucking Wide World of Sports at Disney is getting that. And I'm sure, like, Bronny's had similar because, I mean, LeBron's bigger than Doc and all that. And so, I mean, to me, he's uniquely situated to say, hey, pump the brakes. This might not be as great as you think it is. Now, there's a part of me, and I've kind of felt this, like, as a dad, it'd be pretty awesome to, like, play with your son. That would be an amazing thing. And as a father, I see that, and I see how special that would be, but I completely understand where Austin's coming from for this, and particularly, again, if Bronny was further along, maybe if he was like decisively a top 5 pick, maybe it's all different because he's already like kind of his own guy, and there's a greater expectation that he stands on his own. But the reality is he's had a pretty poor, underwhelming season at USC. If he does go into the draft this year or next without a major improvement, like there's going to be a sense, oh, that team only took him because LeBron's his dad and they want to play together. He's going to have to overcome that some way. And the reality is LeBron is so big, like Austin was talking about. You're not getting out from underneath that shadow.
You're just not. To the point where it's like, what is the problem here? What is the issue with what Austin says? Yeah. He's speaking from experience. He has experience. His dad played in the NBA and coached. Okay, he was on Doc Rivers' team. He saw all of all the things you just said. All of the nonsense and BS that people were commenting and saying and still say to this day, even though Austin is not even actively on an NBA roster. He's only there because of Doc. He's ex, and it's just he's speaking from a place that he knows. He's speaking from a place that he's been to. He's traveled to. He's been there, done that. Yeah. So for Steven Jackson to come and comment, just randomly comment under this, and say, and your daddy, not LeBron, shut up. And then he says the difference is you trash, Bronny not. You can't compare to him, scrub. What? First of all, where are you getting that from? Where is your what's to say that Bronny is better than Austin?
Well, I mean, like, first of all, square it up honestly. Like, Austin, at this exact point, freshman year of college, he was a higher regarded high school prospect. He was a top, literally top 5 high school product. Kind of fell behind Anthony Davis late in that recruiting cycle, but signed with Duke, immediately played. At this time last year, he hit a game-winning shot.
I almost got evicted.
On that shot?
Yeah, I almost got evicted. A game-winning shot against North Carolina, their #1 rival.
Yeah, in what many feel is the best rivalry in college basketball. I mean, he's way ahead of where Bronny is.
So where are you getting this information from that Bronny is better than Austin? Yeah. At what point? What are you talking about? Now take that part out of it, and then and your daddy not LeBron. Well, Austin didn't say that.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything close to that. He was just comparing that situation, which is a similar situation.
Yeah.
You can't go around it. It's a similar situation.
In the modern era, like that, he's the closest thing to having anything comparable to what Bronny's gone through.
Yeah.
And I'll concede there are significant differences, but in the modern era, that is the closest parallel we have.
So whether he's right or wrong, he's qualified to speak on the situation and give his point of view. And there is no dissing. He's not dissing Bronny. All he's saying is, hey, at the level that Bronny is at now, I don't think it would be such a great idea to play on the same team as LeBron because of the comments. And I know Steven Jackson has that show, All the Smoke, and he's in the media. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he needs to get back in the news. But he does this. Every once in a while, he'll do this. Well, he'll create something. He did that thing with Kwame Brown and went back and forth there. And he'll do this every once in a while. But just come out of the blue with some crazy statement just to, I don't know. He's going to be in the news cycle for the next couple of days. But it's like, come on, man.
But I mean, I also think like again, their podcast is like good enough that he doesn't need to do this. Like it stands on its own. It's good. They have great content. They have great stuff.
Maybe
you don't need to do this.
I won't say maybe. It is a good podcast. They do have good content. But if you really want to think about it and say it, a lot of these newer podcasts with professional ball players are over. They're doing better, and they're better watches.
Yeah.
And maybe part of that reason is because they have, a lot of hot takes on them and things like that. But if you think about it, man, a lot of these athletes, All the Smoke was, it wasn't the first by any stretch, but it was early on in the process. A lot of other athletes have gotten platforms and shows post All the Smoke. And a lot of them are doing a lot better. I'd rather watch J.J. Redick over All the Smoke. I'd rather watch Shannon Sharp over All the Smoke. I'd rather watch Ryan and those guys over All the Smoke.
The Pivot.
Yeah, the Pivot. It's a lot of these other athletes. Cam Newton. It's a lot of other athletes I'd rather watch.
I don't like Cam
before
Newton.
I get to.
I do not
All
like
the Smoke.
Cam Newton.
If he gets a good interview, I don't watch. I don't watch just on regular. Just like every day.
I can't tolerate him.
If he gets an interesting interview, I'll watch though.
He's too much of an ass clown. For me.
Yeah, but he's sometimes he's accurate on the game managers. And everybody shitted on him.
What was his take on the game manager?
When he was talking about Purdy and Dak, remember it was like the middle of the season, and he came out was like, Dak is a game manager, and Purdy, and this was when Dak was fucking, the Dallas was doing awesome, and it was the big games. Purdy was the league MVP and all of that, and he said, there's only a couple of quarterbacks that move the needle and are that guy. And but guys like Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy are game managers. He named a couple more that were obvious, but everybody was shitting on him. I'm talking about everybody.
Yeah, but
Ron got to be 1,000% accurate.
Well, but if Purdy wins on Sunday, I don't think that. That doesn't.
What does that say?
As good.
Why?
Purdy made some plays there. I'm still not a huge fan. But
a lot of quarterbacks that win Super Bowls make plays.
He made some plays, and he started to show a bit more than game manager, I thought. And again, if he wins Sunday, I think it's going to take a little something special.
Yeah, of course it depends on what it looks like.
But I'm saying like
he comes out and throws for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. But
I'm saying
what is Bubba or Cam talking about?
Cam would have been 1,000% right if Purdy lost already, if he was home. And the fact is, he's not.
Yeah, that's
you can't be saying somebody's 1,000 point.
Yeah,
correct.
because we've already went through this. We know that Purdy is a game manager. Game managers can win Super Bowls. Game managers can play well in Super Bowls. We've seen it 100 times, or not, whatever, 10, 15, whatever the times it was. We've seen it, but we've already established throughout this season that he's a game manager. That he is the support of the team. This team is fucking loaded, man.
I think it was Kittle who said and if you think about it, it's kind of true. But he's like, I'm on a team with a bunch of superheroes, which when you look at like Trent Williams, You look at Bosa.
Yeah.
You look at Kittle. You look at McCaffrey.
Yeah.
They
Debo,
do have
Debo may be the biggest superhero of them all.
They do have some dudes for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. Again, I've already said I'm a little tired of the Purdy thing. I get the game manager thing. I'm not completely sold, but I think we have to keep some perspective in the sense of this. This is year 2 for this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's shown growth in this year. He got hurt in the playoffs last year. But he's shown growth. He's made some plays when they've needed plays to be made in the playoff. And, there was a period of time when Tom Brady was a game manager.
Yeah.
And he evolved beyond that.
Yeah,
so
you
that's
can't evolve.
That's why I and what I'm hesitating on is when you're saying this is 1,000% right, because we don't know what we're seeing with Purdy.
No.
With
And
Dak,
you miss, and I don't know if you're missing it or what, but what you are doesn't mean what you would become.
Right.
Yes, Tom Brady was a game manager. If Cam Newton would have said that the first year, second year, Tom Brady won the Super Bowl, and they did win the Super Bowl, and even though he won the Super Bowl, he still was a game manager. If Cam Newton says, "Hey, Tom Brady's a game manager," nobody would have argued because he was 1,000% correct. And Purdy could still win the Super Bowl this year, but he's still correct now. As you say, as time goes on and he grows, he gets better or whatever. Yeah, things will change. If you become a better player, then you become a better whatever. You know what I'm saying? Adjective. But that's that. Now, but on this, I think we've established Steven Jackson is out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
And the fucking clown.
And the clown. Wow.
Yeah.
Harsh words for Captain Jack.